There are real possibilities. What we're seeing generally is that the pharmaceutical approach is falling way short. And therapy alone tends to fall short for people that have run the gamut of therapy, counseling, talk processes, etc. And what I'm finding in my experience with psychedelics is it takes the ego offline for a little while, and it drops us into a deep, heartfelt space that people can have an experience that opens them gently, opens them authentically, and then the dialogue that emerges is transformational. It stimulates, it touches deeply the heart of the matter for people, beneath the persona, beneath the issues, the challenges, the symptoms, the diagnosis, all of that. And we get to something real and true within themselves, and they recognize, I'm like a mirror for them to reflect back to them who they truly are at their core. And that's transformational when they get that. Once they catch sight of that, it's hard to not see that anymore. So it's truly, it changes them. It shifts their perception of themselves and their world, because it changes in here and it changes in here. Now, there's no question that the therapeutic setting is valuable, that it has a positive and profound impact for people in their experience. It's safe, it's a contained environment in an office or a therapy setting, clinical setting. But what's different about the way that I work here ceremonially is we are not contained in a building. We're not contained inside the four walls of an office. We are outside. We're elementally exposed. We're on the earth, under the open sky, at the fire's edge, and in a ceremonial space. I open with ceremony, close with ceremony, and it changes the experience in that people, in my experience, become more connected to something, for lack of a better word, that's spiritual. It's deep and profoundly moving, and it's spiritual in nature. And being in nature facilitates that experience. The psychedelic experience itself, the journey, is just one part of the whole experience. Uh, we're in ceremonial space when we do this, and things get opened, insights, new openings, breakthroughs, breakdowns. All manner of things happen inside the space of the journey, but we're in a shamanic bubble. We're in a space that allows for anything to occur that comes up for somebody. But the important piece on the other end of that experience is to integrate what happened into their daily lives. So for me, it's probably the most critical aspect of the whole experience, in that we want to make it practical. It's one thing to have an amazing experience and then it's gone, a few days, a few weeks later. So the process of integration anchors it in the body, anchors it into our memory of what happened. It's like interpreting a dream and breaking out those pieces and seeing, making the connections and seeing how everything's related. And then having practical things we can do in our daily life, practices that help to deepen and strengthen the experience. It changes how we interact, first of all, with ourselves, with others in our world, our spouse, our children, our families, and work associates and colleagues. How we move through the world is fundamentally altered. And so to begin to integrate the experience in a way that contributes to our own transformation, that's where the deepest value is in the experience. Yeah, what comes to mind is when people have an encounter with a deep sense of their own spirituality and their sense of connection and their sense of sovereignty, their authenticity as an individual, it's like, how can I hold on to this? How can I remember this? And so in the integration process, we take something like that, which is a very real experience for people, and begin to anchor it in such a way that they make changes in their lives that are a reflection, that are consistent with who they saw and who they experienced themselves to be as an authentic expression of who they are. So, my gosh, people have bought a new car because they wanted a car that represented them and that provided good transportation. They've changed their names, they've moved from one place to another. They've changed jobs to something that's more in alignment with their values and the truth of their being. So it's like that. And also the invitation is not to go out and make radical changes in your life, but to make them incrementally in a way that's consistent, and the pace is right for each person, you know. Yeah, that's a great question. It's a big question. In one respect, as we see movement in the realm of legalization, studies and trials, etc., that prove the efficacy of psychedelics in a therapeutic setting, and the changes and the difference it makes in people's lives over and above what's available with the pharmaceutical approach. That's one thing. But then there's the expansion of people's minds, their ability to think outside the box, their capacity for authentic self-expression, connection with another, communication, improved communication in relationships, being more open, gentler, kinder. I mean, these are real outcomes of the psychedelic experience. Forgiveness, deeper trust, greater surrender in the everyday, more ease in life, less worry, more acceptance. They're super practical, but they're qualities that they're difficult to measure, but they happen. They happen in people's lives. And the depth of connection that people feel in their sense of something greater than themselves, and a purpose, a reason for being here, a purpose that's bigger than they could have ever thought possible. Yeah.
Nice. Beautiful.
That was a good question. That was the last question.